What's going on, world? It's your main man, Kareem A. Rashid, the voice and your host of Clearing the Wreckage. Yes, we got another great episode in store for you today. Once again, I don't know if you driving to work, but all I ask is that you please pay attention to the road. And you could be at work on a lunch break, trying to get a quick sneak peek into this episode. Please clock back into work on time. Yes! And you could be doing something that is very important, to me at least, and that is on the toilet. Please make sure you don't forget to flush. Yes! Love it. What's going on, my Wreckage Clearers? What is happening with you? You are part of this community. That is your name, because you are about clearing the wreckage. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast if you weren't about clearing the wreckage. You know, that's just what I'm going to assume about you. You're either about clearing the wreckage or you want to know what this is all about. Well, this podcast is all about that. Clearing what remains on the inside. Clearing that broken clutter, all those scraps that are just left at the scene of the accident. The accident just happens to happen, right? You know, we go through life, things happen, trauma, different things. And it leaves us stained. It leaves us with remain pieces left behind. That is what is called wreckage. And we need to clear that crap up so that we can grow, we can evolve, and we can become the best version of ourselves today. All right? You with me? I want to thank you so much for listening and tuning in to Clearing the Wreckage podcast. If you are a first-time listener, I want to thank you so much for accepting my invitation to this journey, because that's all we're on. I'm on a journey, and I'm sharing it with you, and I'm so appreciative of you. And for my long-time listeners, yes, my Wreckage Clearers, thank you so much for being loyal. Thank you for sharing this podcast with your loved ones, with your coworkers. Thank you for sharing it on your social medias and letting people know about this awesome podcast where we get raw, real, uncut, straight to the core so that we can clear that wreckage out. All right. Enough of that. Last week, we discussed part 3 of the death of my old identity. So much involved in it that I had to do 3 whole parts of it so that you can get the gist of what was going on, so that you can understand, so that mainly you could walk alongside of me in this journey. We talked about how I was feeling, and we talked about the pain that I was going through and how much pain I was feeling at the time. We talked about everything from being triggered back to the past with my childhood trauma, with my ex-fiance leaving, from me seeking perfection, being angry, living in fear. We discussed all of that. Today, we are going into total darkness. Yes. The title of today's episode will be Trying to Escape the Darkness. I'm still in the cocoon, you know, that's what. So after the episode from last week, I left off with me being in a cocoon. That's where we're at. I'm closed in. There is no light. I'm surrounded by darkness. I'm not knowing what is happening or why, but everything is affecting me. From there, I began to blame, and I went into self-pity. Threw a temper tantrum like a little kid. No, I don't want to be in this cocoon. What is happening? Give me back my old identity. Give me my life back. Give me my ex-fiance back. Why does she have to leave? I feel down in the dumps. Everyone is out to get me. Everyone else is the problem. Yes, because I'm perfect. I did nothing wrong. Why is this happening? Have you ever been in a state like that where you just do not understand what is going on? Why you're so angry? Why is everyone out to get you, it seems? Well, that's how I felt. I felt like everybody was out to get me. Why is everything going wrong? Why is everything even falling apart? And it's because the great fall has to happen in order for you to grow. Sucks, doesn't it? But the great fall has to happen in order for us to grow. Maybe, just maybe, it was time for me to look at myself. Maybe it was time for me to stop blaming everyone. Huh? Just maybe. Right? But I'm not going to do that. Everybody else is the problem because I'm perfect. Remember, this is the state that I was in. I'm perfect. You all are a bunch of jerks. So I want to share a little story with you that was happening around this time of my life. You guys already know, I became the manager at the place I was working, right? And you guys already know about that. I've shared that with you. And my first year of management was weird. It was a time where I thought I knew what I was doing. I was coming in, being a manager. I'm going to change everything. I'm the boss. I am the boss. Y'all are going to respect me. And what I say goes, and that's the way it is. No talking back, no nothing. And that was my attitude. Now, of course, I was kind. I was, as patient as I could be. But as far as I was concerned, I was there to manage this place, which means I got to whip these people into shape and I got to get them working. And they need to work to my speed. They need to work to my standards, everything, right? They need to match me. So after my year of being a manager, I received an evaluation. And in that evaluation, there was one good thing. I kid you not, y'all. I kid you not, boy. I thought I was doing it. I thought I was like, man, I'm the best manager ever. I'm so glad y'all raised me up. Y'all needed me. I don't know what took y'all so long. Y'all needed me to get this place in the shape. I thought I was doing it. Turns out I wasn't doing the right thing, at least. I wasn't managing the way that I should have been managing. So I received my evaluation. The one good thing on there was, Kareem, your customer relations are amazing. Your rapport with the customers is awesome. They love you. They come back because of you. And then the rest was all bad. And I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but just know that my managing skills, or my management skills, I should say, were horrible. I was a micromanager. I tried to control the situation. I tried to control these people. Like I said just a little while ago, they had to act accordingly if they were going to work underneath me and be part of my staff. And I put the hammer down because all I expected was what? Perfection, of course. You guys guessed it, huh? That's what I expected. That evaluation tore me apart. I just got to be real with y'all. I just got to have some honest time with y'all. That evaluation tore me apart. I did not understand. I thought, well, this is what I'm supposed to do as a manager. Tell people what to do. And if they don't act accordingly, they get disciplined. Yes and no, Kareem. There's a lot more into being a manager. And what I didn't know is that in order to be a leader, I needed to serve. I needed to learn to serve. Yes, great quality of leadership. Becoming the servant first. I didn't have that quality. I didn't have it at all. I was tore to pieces. I was heartbroken. Because for one, I thought I was appeasing my manager. And I thought that I was doing a great job. Nobody never said anything until I received that evaluation. So I digress with that. I just wanted to share that story with y'all real quick. But listen, I tried so hard, y'all, to be perfect or to, let's say, pretend maybe. Yep. To be what everyone else wanted me to be. To do what everyone else wanted, right? You know? And to go where everyone wanted me to go. That was the life I was living. That was my identity. I didn't know what I expected of myself, only what I thought others expected of me, which I thought was perfection. So, hey, let's put on a smile and go to church, go to work, go to therapy. And, you know, truth be told, therapy was not helping me anymore. It just wasn't. I felt worse after I left there. The same with church and the same with work. Because after that evaluation, when it came to work, I didn't even want to be there no more. I said, I don't want to be there. I'd rather quit. You can demote me. I don't need to be the manager if it comes with all of this. I got to learn new skills just to manage. No, I ain't nobody got time for that. That was my attitude. Are you telling me that I'm not perfect? What? I'm the greatest manager that you've ever had. It took you going through so many other managers, and they all failed until you picked me. And look at me. Look at how great I'm doing. At least that's what I thought. Nobody said anything until I received that evaluation. But no, I mean, nothing was helping. Maybe it was time for me to look inside or look at myself, but nope. I wasn't about to do that. Nope. Everyone else is the problem. And you know what else happened in that evaluation that I'm going to share with you? You know what else happened in that evaluation? I was actually told this to my face that maybe, just maybe, Kareem, you know, you're complaining about everybody else and they're all misfits and they're the problem. What if it's you? Imagine someone telling you that. Imagine your manager that promoted you, that you think believes in you, thinks you're amazing, you're a great worker, you're going to be a great manager, tells you that you are the problem. Man, get the hell out of here with that crap, man. Ain't no problem. Bro, you got me messed up, twisted like a pretzel. I am not the problem. Nope. They are. And that is that was my continued state of mind and state of being. I'm perfect. Everybody else is the problem. And I was told that by my manager. And it tore me to pieces. So work pretty much had me depressed. Everyone there seemed to be disrespectful toward me. The people at church seemed to be perfect. They were constantly telling me what to do, how to act, how to be. But I could not live up to their standards. And then even with the evaluation that came from work, I was like, well, dang, these standards are perfect. I can't live up to that either. I thought I was already perfect, by the way. Just let's put that little note in there. That's what's going on in Kareem's head. Y'all don't know that, but yeah. Right? Or maybe it was my standards that I was trying to live up to, right? The standard of perfection. Nah. It's everyone else's. I'm not the problem. Everyone else is. My childhood is the problem, or at least the trauma, I should say, that took place is the problem. Will I always be in this cocoon, are the questions I ask. Will I always be in darkness? I hate this. I am the victim here. I did not put myself in this cocoon in total darkness. Why must I go through this? I thought I cleared the wreckage. Why is it still here? So much clutter and broken pieces within me that remain. I thought I've arrived. I've mastered this walk, right? This new way of life that I was living without drugs and alcohol. I was helping people. I was healing people. Well, I thought I was Jesus. Hear me now. Hear me for real. I was helping people. I was housing people. I was feeding people. So why is this world against me? Why is the universe against me? And then why did the so-called God that I thought I believed in, right, is letting all of this happen? Why did God leave? Everyone leaves. Screw it. I'm escaping this crap. I don't want no more parts of this darkness. I don't ever want to feel like this again. I know what to do. Yep. And that's what I did, folks. I went right back to my old ways because I was trying to take my old identity back. I was trying to find some type of solace, some type of light. I was in total darkness and I did not like it. I hated the pain that I was feeling. I hated not being perfect. I hated being angry. I hated living in fear. Most of all, I hated pretending like everything was all good. I hated pretending. I hated being this person that everyone else wanted Kareem to be. I couldn't stand it. I really could not stand it. I couldn't take it anymore. I said, I guess I'm not perfect. And I went back to using alcohol and drugs, just like that. And I'm going to just share with you something I wrote in my journal on September 30th, 2015, so 10 years ago. This past weekend, on Friday the 25th, I relapsed and brought plenty of alcohol and drugs. I spent so much cash, I became financially irresponsible. That's what I wrote in my journal. And you know what? I'm finna tell you something right now. Guess what? You remember, not the last episode, but the episode before that, I shared a journal entry with you from July 14, 2015. This next journal entry that I just shared with you was the next time that I wrote in my journal. So remember how I was like, I'm clearing the wreckage. I'm writing in my journal every day. Well, I had pretty much a 2-month hiatus of not writing in my journal. And writing in my journal helped me stay clean and sober. So you see what not to do, right? Pick up your journal and please write in it. Do not stop writing in your journal. Write everything down. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys because this was a very, very dark time for me. And that stint of me going back to drugs and alcohol lasted for about a total of 5 to 6 months of complete darkness, not writing in my journal like I needed it to, because the next time I wrote was 2 months after that as well. I have my journal right here. I can see that the next time I actually wrote was November 2015. I stopped writing in my journal. I stopped writing down my feelings, my thoughts, so that I could see them. So today, I decided to share with you what not to do. This, my friends, is what not to do. This is not how you clear the wreckage, okay? Capiche? Please make sure you are listening to this with an open mind and open ears. This is not how you clear the wreckage. You see? So I'm finna break it down for you. You see, because really, my ego or my old identity kept telling me that, no, I'm perfect. I have done all the things I need to do in order to clear the wreckage. But obviously not, right? Obviously I didn't. But my ego wanted me to believe that. My ego was like, dude, you done all the work. You put in so much work, Kareem. You are good. But as you can see, there was a point where my heart left the building. There was a point where my soul left and darkness came upon me. I was only going through the motions. I was only doing it so that I will not question myself and others will not question me. Let's get down to the truth. This is what was going on. They will still see me as a young man who is perfect, who is good and who does good for his community. A man who shows up to church every single Sunday, every single Wednesday. A man who quotes scriptures, who knows the Bible front and back, who is happy, always has a smile on his face, who's clean and sober, who once was homeless, now has his own. This is what I wanted them to see. I have my own. I have my own car. I have my own home. I also have a management position. If you want to be like someone, be like Kareem. Look at how far he has come. Look at all he has accomplished in almost 3 short little years. Be like him. Wow. What an example he has set for so many others. He is on a mission. It's almost like Kareem started his own ministry. He started a YouTube channel. He started helping people out. He started serving the community. Wow, look at this guy go. I'm at work telling people all about themselves. Hey, you shouldn't be doing this or doing that. Quoting scriptures at them, opening up the Bible, thumping them across the head. Look at me. I'm perfect. You're full of dirt. And you need to be cleaned up, but I'm washed. All my sins are washed away. So let me help you. Because you going to hell if you don't straighten up. But me, oh, I'm flying to heaven, baby. In fact, I'm already there. Y'all on the ground, I'm up high. This was the thought process. This was my train of thought. This is the way I thought about myself. I was perfect. My ego, my old identity was like, dude, you are the best. Man, look at everything that you have accomplished. Dude, like you went to therapy. You're getting the help that you need. You became a manager. Oh my God, look at this. Man, you became financially responsible. Oh, what an ego. That is what my ego was saying. That was my old identity, my friends. I was able to appease the people. It felt good because in everyone else's eyes, I was not a failure. In fact, I was unstoppable. I was amazing. But no wonder that identity had to die. No wonder I had to fall into complete darkness. And someone or something, may I dare say, a power greater than me, was going to clear the wreckage, whether I was ready or not, whether I was going to stop and look at myself or not. Sound familiar? Maybe you are going into a state of darkness, into your cocoon. Maybe, just maybe, you are in so much pain. And all you can feel is your own pain, no one else's. Maybe you are blaming everyone around you. Maybe, just maybe, you are the problem. Maybe you are the one that needs to clear the wreckage. Maybe you still have wounds that need healing. Maybe the little bandages that you put on aren't working anymore. Now, if you've been listening and you've been a part of this community since the beginning, then you know I had to be in darkness before. Yep, the second episode. I was kicked out right into the darkness. Go back to that second episode and listen to it. And if you're a first-time listener, make sure you listen to that second episode as well. But that had to happen so that eventually I would look at myself, I would acknowledge my fault, I will admit it, and then I will seek in order to find the light. That's episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there. So there's a reason I invited you on this journey, and exactly why I started this podcast at that point in my life and decided to share this story with you. So hopefully you see the connection with this episode and in all of this. But just remember, this is not how you clear the wreckage. That's what I wanted to share with you today. Listen, it's been darkness. It's been darkness, total darkness. I'm still in the cocoon. In the next episode, we're going to talk some more about darkness maybe. And hopefully soon I'll get to the light. Well, we'll bring that up eventually. All right. Well, I thank you guys so much. I just wanted to share with you what not to do, how not to clear the wreckage. But just remember that your old identity wants to keep you in the same place. My old identity wanted to keep me in the same place, having the same train of thought, continually pleasing the people, continually pretending to live up to the standard of perfection, continually living in anger and fear. My ego did not want to move past that comfort zone. Because if it did, it would have had to die. But as I said, something new that this ego has to go. So I had to go into total darkness. And I pray and hope that you're not in that situation right now where you're in total darkness. But if you are, please do not escape the way that I escaped. Just stay there. Stay there in that cocoon, because soon you will become a butterfly. I love you. Once again, as I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.